It is 6 p.m. on the night of the 13th of April 2024. Voters in Cook have just finished voting in the 2024 Cook by-election. This seat was formerly held by the former Prime Minister Scott Morrison, booted out in the 2022 federal election, and is now being contested by Simon Kennedy, expected to be joined in the two candidate preferred count by Martin Moore of the Greens. It is heavily expected tonight that the Liberals will win by some fair margin, but what most people are looking at in this by-election is what is the swing? Is there a primary swing against? Is there a primary swing against the Liberals? Is there a primary swing towards the Greens? Or maybe even is there a overall two candidate preferred swing towards the Greens? We will still have to wait for quite a while to get the first results in of this by-election, so I will be back at around 6:40 to cover the first preference results as they come in. And I'll be able to show you around the website I will be looking at tonight when those first results start trickling in. we'll be back in a second. I'm mixing is counting. Is having too many votes coming. Nope. Because it's still allowing me to put my camera at the front of the screen. Oh no. There we go. First results. First results in. Sorry, I didn't get immediately on there. There's a bug with my system. There still is a bug with the system, but first preference results in and moving camera down. So these are the first preference results. But when I get the first preference poll in place, numbers up, they should show you where they are. But these are I can tell you these are the results from Miranda South, and I believe there is a slight swing to the Liberal Party on first preferences. So that's the situation. I will get down here for a minute. As in the meanwhile, we've had a couple more polling places come in. These are, these are Kogarah Bay, Burraneer, Montgomery, and as I said earlier, Miranda South. Currently, there is a 12-point swing to the Liberal at this by-election, and I'm looking for Sorry. Sorry, turn my mic off. First polling places. Montgomery. There is a nullified swing in Montgomery. I'm saying Montgomery. That is a place in the United States. Monterey, I believe is how that is. Monterey. Those are the first references from there. Swings all round on these first polling places. The Liberal, everyone will naturally be going up on these first polling places because the Labour Party is going unequivocally down because they are not testing. The Greens will be wanting to get quite a large swing on. They'll be wanting to get quite a large swing back on these. Quite a large swing to them compared to the Liberal Party on these first booths, because most of the vote that is being distributed right now is the vote of One Nation. Not One Nation, the ALP. So if the Greens aren't picking up much of them, well, this happens, where the Liberal Party just bursts right through the gate and win easily. So the Greens are looking for some preferential swings on these first polling places. A couple of good polling places for, I believe that's the Animal Justice Party candidate, who are getting a surprising amount in some of these raw first preference booths. The projected numbers tend to move up over the night, especially if they are laying ahead here. So you can see, you can see this trend start to appear where the Animal Justice Party are doing, I believe, a little bit better than the UComs poll that came out for Cook a couple of days ago. Is this on? I'll leave for 2 seconds and go see what my computer is doing and see if it's all working. as I say this, I just realised why there is no projected figure here. The projected figure is made up from previous elections results and how those compare to those of this election. And what has happened here is the last election, of course, in Cook, the 2 candidate preferred count was against Labor. So there's no projected figure because Labor isn't contesting this by-election. So of course there won't be anything. That being said, a couple more? No more polling places. Let me just see. Go to the AEC site. Go to their information center to have a peek. See, not archive. And see. Gonna let me do. I really know this site well. No, there. See the first preferences, another booth in. What I want to check is not in by-election coverage, and that was why I was going to past results. What I will bring up now that I know where I'm going is Cook at the last federal election. So we can sort of compare the last federal elections to party preferred results to the 2 candidate preferred results of this time. Go to Cook, and let's go to this very helpful by preferred list. And if we go to the polling places, 2 polling places in Kogarah Bay and Monterey. 76 in Kogarah Bay. That is a 10-point swing to Liberals. And Monterey, that is an 10% swing to Liberals. There is, on these figures, a swing on to the Liberal Party, which is evident in some of the polling places we're getting in. Significant thing about the first 2 polling places we've got in 2 candidate preferred wise are that there's a right-wing party that is doing well in those polling places. There's either the Libertarians, formerly the Liberal Democrats, in Monterey, with the Liberals just behind the Greens, and there is the Liberals themselves in Kogarah Bay. A new polling place in Miranda South, which I believe is also a swing to the Liberals of just about 6%, not 6%, 16%. On these numbers, it'll be a matter of time, as we've known for some extensive period of time now, that the Liberals will win the seat of Cook. Just need a couple more polling places to confirm that. As of now, there's no more first preference results. Let's have a look through the individual results. Polling places. Decent, not the spike for the Libertarians here is in Monterey, which is at an 8.22% swing, which is much. It's 8.22% because they technically didn't compete last time, but this is a pretty high vote for them, a median amount of vote for them in an area like this. The Greens are improving around the board, but you would expect them to do that. You'd expect them to improve first preference wise, but lose. And that is also happening with the AJP at the moment, with 5.0 6 on the raw count. They seem to be improving around the board. 7.6, 3.15 in Kogarah Bay, 0.11 in Miranda South, although that seems to have only a few people voting in it. Just looking at the numbers, it's probably not more than 200. That similar last time around? Yeah, last time around it was 372 people voting there. We are very much beginning to pick up a trend here, and it's the trend we expected. Is that the Liberal Party is well ahead all around the electorate of Cook. Just waiting for some more votes come in. Here we go. Sylvania Heights South. A considerable swing to the Greens. Now, it might be a factor here that the Labour Party got a low vote last time. Let's quickly go check that. Yes, it was a very strong Liberal booth last time around. And it netted the Liberals 64.68% on first preferences. Now, that has gone up a little bit for them. However, the Greens are picking up most of Labour's vote in that polling place. It's still to be regarded that the Libertarians have picked up 5.42% of the vote in that polling place. It's about what they're getting around the electorate at the moment. Here, the Sustainable Australia Party is picking up 1.77%, and the Animal Justice Party 4.8%. But I would think off those first preference figures, you might actually see a swing to the Greens in Sylvania Heights, although that sort of polling place isn't exactly going to get them anywhere close to victory in this electorate. In fact, if you actually look at the numbers, it puts them in a position that's not higher than any other polling place, the electorate. A new polling place in from Purnell, and that is very much towards the Liberals. A decent vote for the Independent there. Our Justice getting about the swing that they seem to be getting around the electorate. 7.28 to the Sustainable Australia Party, 9.39 to the Liberals, which added to the Libertarian Party gets them to a 12-point swing, which, no, not 12, a 16-point swing, which of course would be a completely dominating swing in such a polling place. The two preferred result is in from Burraneer, and that will be a slightly lesser swing to the Liberal Party of 9%. It's very much not going well for Martin Moore at the moment, although nobody expected him to go well. I will point out that the projected first preference figures are a little bit lower than these raw first preference figures at the moment, which would suggest that there might be more favourable results for the Greens coming through at some point. It also could be because there's some discontinuity between the first preference and projected. Be a problem. Of course, nothing's in our update here. Nothing new. First preference polling places. There seems to be a semi-consistent swing in the sort of in Miranda, Monterey, and Sylvania Heights that of around 10% to the Greens. That's the sort of swing that they need. The problem with that is that that is very much not carrying through to the boost we're seeing up the top here, where it seems like a lot of the normally green centered swing is going to the Animal Justice Party. As I say that, I believe that's a new polling place in Blakehurst South. That is a 10-point swing to the Animal Justice Party. That, given that's the first time they're contesting, that we look at the results, it gives them 10.23%, almost getting over the Greens in that polling place, who've just got a 5.15% swing. The Liberals and the Libertarians have a combined, 11-point swing in that polling place, and which follows the pattern we've seen around Cook at the moment. Interestingly, Ramsgate pre-poll has put its numbers in. Must be a pretty low count if it's doing that at this time of the night, or very low rate of scrutineering, which is expectable on this sort of count. There was not a pre-poll there last election. Might be why my first preference numbers are out. This screen. That's almost certainly why my first preference numbers are out on this screen. They're getting divided by the raw first preferences. However, not included in these projected first preferences are the raw. Sorry, not included in these first preferences are Ramsgate, because it is a new pre-poll voting centre. The interesting thing about it is that might actually be a swing to the Greens. Fortunately, because there wasn't a polling place there last time, we can't directly compare it. But on the figure, on the swing that seems like has been given by the Electoral Commission for that polling place, we see nothing to the Greens. 10-point swing to them on first preferences, but that will not carry through given the fact that the Liberals are getting a 12.1% swing there, which when combined with the Libertarians gets them quite far. No new two candidate for polling places. Results, sorry. Raw first preference results overall. Quite impressive result for the minor parties at this election. The Libertarians are getting 7.28. That is a good result for them, although given the fact that Labour is not contesting, you would see how that would happen, and loading through my system is another first preference results. So let's quickly switch to that. I believe that is from... Yes, there is no other... No, Caringbah South, where the Liberals have got only a 3.82% swing, and the Libertarians 3.92. The main movement in Caringbah South seems to be a major swing to Animal Justice and the Greens, almost at an equal rate, getting them up to combined 16% swing to them, and that is compared to an only 8% swing with the Libertarians joined with the Liberal Party. So there might actually be a two-candidate preferred swing. With them also might not be. That seems to very much be a trend. A lot of polling places bursting into the counts. Now let's just have a quick look at Caringbah before we move on. There we go. yeah, it's still a very solid result for the Liberals there, but a little bit lower. Cronulla, on the other hand, that has gone down quite considerably. The Liberals in Cronulla have not moved at all. A 7.42% swing to the Libertarians has gone on there. However, if I look back at Cook at the last election, you will see that the Libertarians, formerly the Liberal Democrats, did not contest. So something to keep in mind tonight is that combined, the right-wing parties, Pauline Hanson and United Australia, which are sort of comparable, though that is debatable, with the Libertarians, they got a combined 9.58. So if this was going like the Dunkley by-election, you would expect for the right-wing parties to have all of their first preference vote go to other right-wing parties. So we can count 9.58% of the swing to right-wing parties sort of natural in a way. So that's why it's very interesting that the polling places where that is below 9.58, because that's what you would be expecting them to get in just out naturally. Quite a few polling places coming in now. We're seeing there are definitely still some good results for the Liberal Party, but there's also some drops. Green Hills Beach is technically not a drop on first preferences. However, if I go up to the swings, you can see once again below 9%. The Libertarians added to the Liberal Party. In that one, there's an interesting 12-point swing to the Animal Justice Party, who very much are jumping onto the scene with Labour not contesting. Now, Central is, of course, the same. Let's look at the two candidate preferred. Nothing new there. So if we go back here, nothing new on that count either. The projected first preference vote is really suffering. Now, the raw first preference results, which on such a high count would be quite accurate, so maybe disregard this top part. They are hanging around at the Liberals on 60, which is a considerable swing to them. Looking at the previous results, that is a 5-point swing to them right now. Libertarians, of course, are a new party. They're getting introduced on a 6.43% swing. Animal Justice Party are also getting introduced on a 7.26% swing. Roger Woodward, who has moved as an independent down to contesting this seat from Barara, he has picked up 5.55% so far, and the State of Australia Party has got a mere 2.46. But given the smattering, which would be okay, but given the smattering, we've seen two smaller parties in this election. They would have hoped for it to be larger, I expect. Sylvania itself, the plain Sylvania polling place, a swing again above the 9.58, which is to be expected, or not to be expected, because in the normal polling place, in the Sylvania Heights South polling place, there was not that swing. So there's a bit of inconsistency there. Woolooware, 8.62% swing to the Animal Justice Party. Of course, all of that is new first preference. The Liberal Party plus the Libertarians, the two, I'm having this conglomeration because they're the two natural preferencing elements. I say that gets stolen from me. A lot of new results coming in. That is 7.55% of vote has gone to those two pairs. But remember that 9.58% sort of natural mark in that. Is there any lower polling places to scroll through? There is no more two candidate preferred results coming in. Raw vote is staying about the same, but uncouthly large vote for the Animal Justice Party at the moment. Cronulla Central is quite a good booth for the Greens, considering. Have a quick look at what that was last time round. Go Central. That used to be the Greens on 14.82% and the Liberal Party just ahead. That definitely is a swing, decent swing. Carlton South, that would be more of one, I believe. I'm probably going to spend most of my time up on this swing graphic as it tells you more about the general moving of the electorate. That is a large swing to the Liberal Party, 20 points backed. Happened there last time. Last time in Carlton South, it was a shared polling place, so that might be part of the reason why. But Labor was ahead last time there, so maybe that's some sort of correction for that. What's the new polling place there? I believe that's Sylvania Heights South is the new polling place there. If it is, that is a negligible swing towards the Liberal Party compared to the rest of the results. If we actually look at the booth there, that is only a 1 point swing, which, considering, is quite a low percentage swing to them. Let's go down and have one look through the first preference results in each of these. First preference swings in each of these polling places. We have Blakehurst South, where there's a 5.58% swing to the Libertarians, a 10.23% swing to the Animal Justice Party, 5.15 to the Greens, 4.72 to Roger Woodward, and 5.97 to the Liberal Party. Combined Libertarians and the Liberals there have got over that 9.58% mark. That still might mean they move down a little bit on second on two candidate preferred count. Burraneer, not much of a change there. Might have been a pretty low result for Labor, and not much of a swing to Liberals or the Libertarian Party, although that might be a reflection of that low Labor result last time. Caringbah North has gone way more to the Sustainable Australia Party than other parts of this electorate, on 6.17%. The Animal Justice Party has also jumped up 10.82% in Caringbah North and 3.83% to the Greens in that polling place. The combined Liberal and Libertarian count sits at just about 8% on that grouping. No, that polling place. Caringbah South, similar story. Not as high as a swing to Sustainable Australia and Animal Justice. Most of that going to the Greens. Carlton South, Libertarians on 9.18 and Liberals on 20.45. There won't be a Green win in that booth. Cronulla Central combined results is Liberals on 0.23% swing and 7.42% to the Libertarians. Quite a large swing to the Greens and Animal Justice Party in that polling place. Green Hills Beach, 12.21% to the Animal Justice Party, 2.24% to the Greens, and the combined amount for the Liberals and Libertarians sits at 7.36, which once again is below that 9.58% figure of the combined UAP and One Nation results from last time, which is the baseline I'm setting to what the swing should be in each of these polling places to the right-wing parties. Gimme, which very interesting result because the Independent, the Green, and the Animal Justice Party candidates have almost got an equal swing here, and the right-wing parties have once again got below this 9.58% expected swing from me. On where's that 7.07% swing to them. More of that Labour vote going to the left-wing candidates. Gimme Bay North, that is 4.65% to the Libertarian and 3.12% to the Liberal. Once again, below that 9.58, that number we're looking at. 9.17 to the Greens, meaning that all the left-wing parties group up to make a swing on the order of 18% there, which is quite an impressive swing, though they'd want it to be more given the fact that Labour has left. Gimme North, which has just popped in there, as you might have seen. That is also below 9.58. We'll wait for some of these booths to get to the preference count. Kogarah Bay, that is a 20-point swing to the right-wing parties, so won't get anywhere close to the Greens winning that one. Kogarah East, much the same story, 15-point swing there. Purnell, a similar story. North, we'll get back to these lower booths on the list. What I want to do is I want to check the two candidate preferred results, because if we look at the polling places, the new results in our Kogarah Bay, which is we expected to be bad for the Greens. Kogarah Bay. Sorry, yep. 65% there has turned into 76, which is much like a lot of the other votes. Gimme, that has changed slightly compared to the other polling places, and that's now that's a 4% swing to the Liberal Party there. No other results. Woolooware North. That grouping, that is only a slight swing to the Liberal Party of 1%. Sylvania Heights South, Sylvania itself, that is an 8-point swing to the Liberal Party. Miranda South has been there the whole time. Canal, that is an 8-point swing to the Liberal Party. Kogarah East, 65%. That is a 9-point swing. So what we're seeing on these raw first preferences is, well, is that the Liberals have won, because of course they have. There's no way they really could lose from these numbers. What we're seeing on the raw first preferences, though, is the Liberals on 72.36% vote, which overall, at the moment, even though some of the newer polling places seem to be calming down in their swing to the Liberals, is about a 9-point swing. Nothing new from these polling places. Let's continue our run down the first preference polling places. Miranda North, a large swing to the Animal Justice Party. However, there's no swing to the Greens there, and the rest of the swing seems to go to the Liberals and the Libertarians, which together make a 12.36% swing to the right-wing parties. Miranda South, Libertarians on 3.82% of a swing, and total, because this is their first time contesting this seat. The Liberals on a 9.24% swing, although a 13-point swing to the Greens, the Animal Justice Party on 6.11%, and Sustainable Australia on 4.2%. Then we have Monterey, which is a 17-point total swing, 17.5% total swing to the right-wing parties. Then we go down to Ramsgate, where there is a massive swing to the Libertarian. The right-wing parties have a combined 21% swing. Most of the left-wing swing going to the Greens and the Animal Justice Party. Sanssouci, that is an 8.66% Libertarian swing, 7% Liberal swing, which once again gets above that 9.58% expected level that I've sort of set. Then there is Sylvania, Libertarian 6.61%, Liberals 8.89%, and not much of a swing to the left-wing parties. Sylvania Heights South, seeing the two-candidate preferred result for, which was a lesser swing, and it's a lesser swing in those results. Woolooware is a 7.5% swing to the right-wing parties. The Animal Justice Party has got 8.62% of a swing. The Greens have got 7.17%, both pretty significant swings. Woolooware North, a more extreme example of Woolooware, where the Libertarians have got 5.25%, the Liberals have got 1.82%, making a combined 7.07% swing and 11.72% swing to the Greens. Yowie Bay, an overall swing to the Libertarians and the Liberals of about 10%. And more first preference results coming in there. But the lighter swing in that polling place is to the Animal Justice Party. Let's go up and see if there's any more standard polling places. Not standard polling places. First preference polling places in, I believe, Woolooware is a new result. Let's go to our table of results from last time. That is a 4-point swing to the Liberal Party at the moment and forever, because that is the results. Liberal Party creeping down in its two-candidate preferred results as more of the less amazingly Liberal Party boos come in. That is now sitting on just above 70%. The question is, will that keep on going down? Back to first preferences. Let's try to find Cars Park. There is definitely a swing to the Liberal Party there, although a significant swing to the Independent. Roger Woodward there. About 14% overall to the right-wing parties. Nothing new from Cronulla, nor is there anything new from their equivalent pre-poll voting centre. If it's not annoyingly slow, we can buzz up to the top of the page and go back to the two preferred polling places. Cronulla Central might have just popped into the count there. That is a 0.02% swing to the Greens. I would hesitate to call that statistically significant, but that is a swing to the Greens, which is very interesting. On first preference results, we could see this coming, but it's still interesting to see it occur. Anything new there? Nothing new there. Nothing new there. Baronier. New Baronier and Kurnell shows us a swing. Go an 8-point swing. So we have looked at that before. Kogarah Bay, that's not new. Gimme, that is a swing to the Liberal Party of 6%. Green Hills Beach, I believe that just joined the count. That is a 5-point swing to the Liberal Party. Cronulla Central Cars Park, 75% result for the Liberal Party, which is an 11-point swing towards them. However, that's not going to mean much because that polling place, as you can see here, does not have many people voting at it compared to other results. It'll be interesting to see when that pre-poll that came in earlier, when that gets its votes through. As you can see, the Liberals have one Cook. Just to reiterate, the raw first preference results are still sitting at 70% for the Liberal Party to the Greens 29. Go through the first preferences. Let's look if there's anything new. Bay North might be new. Gimme North, that is an 8-point swing to the right-wing parties with a very even spread among the other candidates. If the Greens are getting anything above 20%, yes, they are Cronulla Central, where they had that vote for them. Gimme, there is a 20.51% result to the happened there, because that's we've got the polling place result for that. 6.421, which means 11% of the poll preferences there are going to the Liberal Party. I've gone way past it. Just looking. So 11% of the if these preferences have gone to the Liberal Party there, which might be a reason why there's a swing to them in this electorate currently. So I'll keep my eye out for that. Miranda South, there's a statistically significant vote for the Greens. Nothing especially high in any of the vote counts for the Liberal opposing party this by-election. Where Ramsgate might be new. Ramsgate new. See it swing in Ramsgate. 9%. No, we have looked at that before. Okay. I will leave for a second and leave you on this screen where we can see the Liberal Party. Leave you on this screen with all the first two candidate preferred results coming in. If this is changed position by the time I've come back, that means there is new results, which I'm very much looking out for at the moment. Be back in a second. What? Okay. The first preference result has gone back up for the Liberals. Wallaway has come through, and there's a swing against Greens. Miranda, there's a Greens. You're picking up the pattern here. There's a constant swing against the Greens. Alice, Stroll, Beach. Bay, Cocker. Yeah, a couple of more leading boots have come in. The question is still if they get above 60%. But for the Greens to prevent that, they will very much need more first preference they're not getting. Just double check my system, see if everything's up a little bit. Okay, a couple more two-candidate preferred booth results in Blakehurst South. That is a let's go through them individually. Blakehurst South, 68% last time. That is a 5-point swing to the Liberals to land them on 73.07. Burraneer, that is 79% this time. That is a 9-point swing to the Liberal Party. Caringbah North, 67.54% to the Liberal Party this time. Last time it was 59.98. That is an 8-point swing. Caringbah South, which might have been Caringbah Central last time. No, there was a Caringbah South. That is a 6-point swing to the Liberal Party. Cars Park, that is an 11-point swing to the Liberal Party. Connells Point, that is a 12-point swing to the Liberal Party. Now on 76.77%. Cronulla, that is a 0.02% swing to the Greens. Now on 61.75% to candidate preferred. Gymea, that is on 64.21 this time. That is a 6-point swing to the Liberal Party. Kogarah Bay, 76% of the vote for the Liberal Party. That is an 11-point swing to them. Kogarah East, that was 65.98% this time. Last time it was 56.73. That is a 9-point swing. Purnell, that was 67.42% last time. That is an 8-point swing to land it on 75% this time. Miranda North and Miranda South. Last time that pair was at 64 and 54% respectively. There are quite large swings there. In the teens for the Liberal Party. Ramsgate, 65% for the Liberal Party this time. Last time that was on 56.06 as a 9-point swing. Sans Souci, 69.99% this time. Last time that was at 63.77%, so that is a 6.22% swing. Sylvania and Sylvania Heights South, that is about 13-point swing to the Liberal Party, not combined, sort of combined. Woolooware and Woolooware North, those are on 66 and 68% respectively. And that is combined around 2-point swing to the Liberal Party. This all means that on two-candidate preferred, the Liberal Party are just about resting above 70% at the moment. This... Nothing quite new on these first preference results. Lillypilly, there's quite a low swing to the Liberal Party and the Libertarian there. Burnell, nothing new there. Tarrant Point, that's just in. That is a 15.74% combined swing to the right-wing parties. That is the Libertarian plus the Liberal. very repressed Green and Animal Justice Party swing there. They would be expecting to get in the order of 8 and 9% if they were to pick up anything on two candidate preferred. There, they are falling very short. Nothing new down here. First, a new pre-poll voting centre. That is Cronulla. That is a 11-point swing combined to the two right-wing parties. The Greens have got a swing to them of 8.44%, the Animal Justice Party of 4.57%, and the Sustainable Australia Party of 1.91%. Let's have a check of that down at the bottom of the list. That makes it much lower for the Greens than the normal carrying bar booth that we have got in the last hour. The Greens have not got above 20%, which makes sense for such results. No, it makes sense for pre-poll, but it's still very much not good for the Greens if they have any aspirations of winning this seat, which it was very distant, you must say. New two candidate preferred results have come in. Blakehurst South, we had that before. Caringbah, Cars. Caringbah South is new, is it? No, that's the same we had before. We got pre-poll. No, we have not. Woolooware North, Woolooware South, Tarrant Points, 82%. Okay. The swing here is going to be large, and surprisingly, Tarrant Point seems to have got its two candidate preferred swing in very fast after its first preferences results. That only came in like 10 minutes ago. Surprisingly fast count. 73% last time in Tarrant Point. For the Liberal Party, that has gone up to 82.23%. There's not much higher you can get on a seat than 82.23%. Pre-poll, sorry. Pre-poll, 67.88 Ramsgate pre-poll voting centre. That is new to this election, but it probably counts as a swing. However, in this situation where we're getting 70% and much larger, it's surprising to see Ramsgate pre-poll come in. It's just below 70. If we actually go to first preferences for, I have to grab this and pull it down. No, yeah, let me do that. The Google Chrome issues. Ramsgate, we can see that not a lot of the voters flowed towards the Liberals. You would expect, at bare minimum, the amount that the Libertarians have would go to the Liberals. And given the fact that on two candidate preferred that the total is 68%, that means that only 9%, if you look at this first preference count, of the Liberal Party vote has gone to, they've only gained 9% through preferences there, whereas the Greens, given the fact that they've got 32% in this polling place, they've gained 13% off first preference flows. It's a very interesting split given these first preference results. The other left-wing parties are only having the order of 8%, if you're being generous. Let's go back to the two-party preferred results. Here we go. Getting quite a lot of them in here now. Let's actually have a quick look at the two candidate preferred total results. As raw, you can see well, you can see the obvious. The Greens are just below 30% on the raw vote. Unfortunately, I was not able to project it as there is no comparable two-candidate preferred result. I guess you could have compared it to the last two-party preferred result. Could have done that, but that would have required a little more data than I believe the. No, I think that could have been done. Anyway, stop rambling. It's time to look through the two-candidate preferred one more time. Look for more remarkable results. Cronulla South, I believe that's a new polling place in here. No, that's Caringbah. There we go, 59.94 last time around. That is a 7-point swing to the Liberal Party on these results. Green Hills Beach, that's not new. Ernell, Miranda. Ramsgate, I believe, is a new result, and it's also a slightly lower result for the Liberal Party. Let's have a look at it and see why that is. Ramsgate. That it used to be 56%. That has gone up 9, nearly 10%. So there's a couple of reasons there. No new pre-polls in. Doesn't look like there's many new normal voting centres in. A 9-point swing in Yowie Bay, I believe that's new. Of course, can't get any swings because there is no comparable data. Caringbah, Carlton, Point, nothing. Gymea, no Cogra. Lillipilly was there before. Kernel was there before. You can just have a sort of scroll through the first preferences at this point. You would expect. Cronulla seems to be the best place for the Greens in this electorate coming out of this election. Miranda South is very much not reflected by its northern half, and so it can't really fulfill that role. What's interesting is that we're seeing a lot of these. If we're seeing a lot of these results come in their 50s, but then once all the votes are counted, they're getting converted into 70s into candidate preferred terms. So the Liberals are actually getting a lot of preferences off these other candidates. Sylvania South, Point. There's definitely a couple of low points for the Greens and minor parties. That very much being Tarrant Point, where the Liberals have actually got 72.8% on first preferences, which is, funnily enough, the amount they got in after the amount they got after preferences at the last election. So, quite the swing there. Cronulla, surprisingly, Cronulla is below Ramsgate in the first preferences results as the pre-poll voting centre, even though I believe on the normal booths, Cronulla is ahead of Ramsgate. So that might be a quirk of Cronulla pre-poll voting centre. Oh, that jump down means that there's some new results. Got me off my list, but probably fine. Sylvania Heights, that I believe is a new booth. That is remarkably low Liberal vote. that's mostly gone to the Libertarian, which is doing surprisingly well out of this election. The Libertarian, like most minor parties out of this by-election, 20.51% in Gaimea, which seems to be one of the higher points for the Greens. Just thought I'd point that out as we go past. No results from the normal Cronulla booth, or the default Cronulla booth, however you'd like to think about it. Caringbah Central, I believe that's new. Not as low as sort of, funnily enough, for a central booth, it is landed almost perfectly between Caringbah South and Caringbah North. That is very satisfying. Not for the Greens count, though. The excess vote seems to have gone to the Liberal Democrats. Used to be Liberal Democrats, now they are the Libertarians. Sustainable Australia has also picked up some of those votes. No new pre-polls. Look at some of these new swings. Sandringham. That is a conjoined right-wing swing of 12%. Yes, just about 12%. Not just about. Very much past 12%. It's 13%. The Greens have got a comparable swing towards them in that polling place of 11.16, and the AJP has picked up 7.35% swing there, of course, because this is their first time contesting this electorate. All of that swing is just new first preference results they have. So all of these swings you're seeing for the AJP here, all these some pretty remarkable swings in Miranda North, for instance. All of these are just the AJP jumping onto the scene in this electorate. We have Carlton South, Caringbah West. Caringbah West, that is very... Well, there must have not been many Labour voters there last time, because there's not much total swing. Just a reminder, all these votes are going towards... All the parties are gaining here because they're either new, and therefore they can't go down, or because the Labour vote is gone. It has vanished because Labour is not contesting. In Caringbah West, there is very much a swing to the Liberals. In Caringbah Central, there is an 11-point swing to the right-wing parties. The Greens and Animal Justice just managed to add to larger than that, but that is... given the fact that Labour is getting dissolved this by-election, basically, they would have hoped to get a swing. There was probably about about 3/4 of the Labour vote they would have wanted to come, the left-wing parties would have wanted to come to the right wing. Not the right wing, to them. Of course, you want to swing against yourself. Polling places. Any new two-candidate preferred polling places? No. Let's have a quick look at the two-candidate preferred. That has ducked down a little bit. Liberals are still just about managing to keep themselves above 70% of the vote. We'll see if that changes, but from this point you would have thought that if someone is on above 70% of the vote and they're a right-wing party or a major party, you would have thought that they would win more votes on postal votes, which they will, because this is a raw count. They'll go up, and they'll win some votes on the pre-poll, which they will. That hasn't come through for what is it? For Cronulla, which will be an important pre-poll to see. Yowie Bay will where had the Miranda pair, have Conquer Bay for a while, have Gymea Bay. Sort of, let's go through them, looking at some of these averages. Lakehurst is sitting at 73%, which is just above average for this electorate. 73% there. Boronia is well above average. Some of that's being compensated in Caringbah, maybe a little bit surprisingly. So that's just about below 68. That's about 2% below the total raw vote currently. Cars Park, that's about 5% above. Connells Point, that's about 6% above. And Cronulla seems to be providing some of the lack of swing against the Liberal Party, because the Cronulla Central booth, which came in a little bit earlier, the Cronulla Central booth actually is the only booth at this point to swing against the Liberals. I might be thinking, oh, what is it going to swing? 1%? No, 0.02. Nothing happened in Cronulla Central, but that is the situation there. Gymea, that as a suburb is hanging just below the average vote. That's hanging at, let's see, just about 68% as a suburb, which is a pretty low vote. Green Hills, we're still waiting for the normal Green Hills polling place to bring in its 2 candidate preferred results. We have Cogra Bay, which is a massive swing. I believe when I checked that sat at maybe something on the order of 20%. Let's have a quick look at that. Let's go to and see Cogra Bay. Not the large swing. 11% though, which seems to be the swing we're getting overall, and is still very recognizable swing, but it's more affecting Cogra East, which is 11-point swing or 10-point swing. Not what I'm looking for. There was a swing. There was a booth that went for Labour last time in the Cogra area that I'm thinking about, and it is not the absent vote. The absent vote. Oh yes, that might be somewhere that the Greens might actually gain a little bit. The absent votes. A trend you see sometimes in electorates like Richmond or Macnamara or Higgins, where the Greens tend to be in contention to win the seat, is that they will sort of get weighed down by the postal votes, and then they'll have a sort of final little dip up when the absent votes are counted. That might still happen here, very much not to the same extent as it normally affects such electorates as Macnamara and Richmond. Let's look back at the thing. What was I trying to find here? I was trying to find Carlton South. Carlton South, which is the Cogra, used to have a pro-Labour count. That is the large swing here. That used to be, as you can see, 56% to the Labour Party. Now it's 66% to the Liberals. A 20-point swing to the Liberals in Carlton South. Definitely one of the top swings this by-election. Let's find some of the more remarkably low levels and see if that's actually because of a swing or because of a New polling places coming in. Ramsgate and Ramsgate Beach, those seem to be particularly low. Now that might be because we look at them. Ramsgate 51% to the Liberals. Sorry, Ramsgate 56% to the Liberals. Ramsgate Beach 51% to the Liberals. There's very much a trend here. That's an 11-point swing in Ramsgate, and you can see that those two polling places are lower, mostly because the Liberal vote overall there has been lower. Go to slightly more. No, let's go to first preference polling places because we actually have swing in them because they very much are comparable samples. Here, let's actually, given that we were talking about it, let's look at Carlton South. Now, that 20-point swing to the Liberals has very much been replicated in Carlton South. In the first preferences in Carlton South, because there is a 20-point swing to them in first preferences, and the rest of the right-wing vote, which is carried by the Libertarians, has got 9.18%. No swing, comparatively no swing to the Greens, given the fact that we're weighing in the factor that Labour is not contesting. Now you might see as we go through some of these booths that the Animal Justice Party is actually probably set that back at one point so it doesn't roll me down the screen by new results coming in. But I'm happy to be thrown off my course if it's an interesting result. Where is it? Burnie Bay. That is quite a low result, I say, after having looked at the Carlton South booth. Yeah, it's not that much of a swing towards the Liberals, but overall is quite a swing to the Liberals. That is, let's have a see, that is 10.8% swing to the right-wing parties, which is actually, the left-wing parties have actually managed to only get about that amount, which very much is not what they want to be happening when most of the vote leaving is from Labour. We have got anything new in the normal polling places? Sandringham? That might be new. What is it sitting at? 70.03, almost on the point of what the overall swing seems to be. Let's have, not the overall swing, the overall two-party preferred seems to be. Have a look at it. Where is it? Sandringham. That is a 6-point swing, much like the rest of the electorate at the moment. Let's actually have a look at that raw first preference vote and get the current raw total swing. Liberals have just stuck below 70%. It's the first time they've done that all night. Probably won't stay there because postals exist, but it's interesting to see that dip below. On those numbers, the Liberal Party have got a 7-point swing to them on the current raw first preference results, which probably could change at any point and will change at any point. Have a look for some new results. Yes, I believe Gymea Bay is a new result. No, because I talked about the 4-strong pair when we went through these earlier. Miranda, Ramsgate Beach. Then Susie. That's oddly low. And Susie, yeah, let's have a look at it. Last time around, it was, and yes, last time around, it was 63.7. That's only a 6-point increase. Now, that sounds like a large increase, but compared to some of the more Liberal-leaning booths in this by-election. Very much looking at Taryn Point there. Is much less, and probably part of the reason why the Liberals have just ducked below 70% in the overall overall two-candidate preferred count. Now let's again, nothing new. Taryn Point very much still sticking out from the Sylvania Heights North, Ramsgate, 2 lower polling places, but still an 11-ish point strong swing to the Liberals there. Miranda Central, 51% in Miranda Central. It's only a 5-point swing, which is about the swing. It's about 3 points below the total swing in the electorate currently. Green Hills, that's already been in. Cronulla itself has come in, and it is at. Did we get to Cronulla Central earlier? Yes, we did. Cronulla itself has come in as a polling place, and we can see that it has moved 8%. However, it will still mean that the Greens vote will go up because in the raw preferences because it is below that amount. It's already included in the count. Yes, it was. Yeah, Caringbah. Nothing new from Caringbah. Nothing new from Carlton, of course. There's only one booth from there. It's all starting to slow down. Gymea Bay. That was already there. East Canal, and as I say that, in pops another one, Green Hills Beach. No. Else? Oh, Caringbah. Something just changed there. Only changed 1 point down, which means that there's a new one at the bottom of the list. Sylvania South. I hope I've got the correct one there. Sylvania South. 70.19 to the Liberal Party there. Let's have a look at it. Sylvania South. That is only a 4-point swing. That is comparatively much less towards the Liberal Party. I am aware here that I am saying that a 4-point swing is not much of a swing, but that seems to be how this by-election is working out. So that's presumably the new result. If I just double check South Central, Lillipilly, Cornell. Yep, that is the new result. Only a slight increase in the Liberal vote there. And it has not yet changed the raw vote. Probably because it is not statistically significant. Is there anything new in the first preferences? Probably not. Now begins the long part of the night, where we have to wait around for a couple of stragglers to get their 2 candidate preferred results in. And as I say that, we're waiting for the pre-poll voting centres to come down. Here they are. We have got Caringbah as a pre-poll voting centre. Combined there, the right-wing parties have only got a 10.75% swing compared to the left-wing parties who have got a combined 15-point swing. Sorry for the delay. Cronulla, we did not already have that. No, we already had that. Miranda, that is a 12-ish point swing to the right-wing parties, 8 points specifically to the Liberals, that the Animal Justice and the Greens have got a combined 12% in Miranda. Let's go down and see how the first preferences are actually going in these pre-polls. Very much a low. You know the pattern here? There's very much a low Libertarian vote in these pre-poll voting centres. They seem to have almost ticked up in their vote a little bit, if you think of it through that logic, at election night. I thought something interesting just popped up on my screen down there. No, it didn't. That just changed. I've just changed. But still, there's very much the dominant factor of the Liberals in all of these polling places, all these pre-polls. And still, the Greens have not really had a really good sign in any of these. Ramsgate, of course, have got its pre-poll. Who candidate preferred in? Sandringham. Ramsgate Beach. Ramsgate Beach new. Might be new. So I've got no function to look for what's new and what's not. Cronulla Central, Cronulla South. I probably should have added this feature. Let's have a look at the pre-poll voting centre vote in Ramsgate. That ended up being a 68% two candidate preferred vote in there. Let's have a look at how that converts to the first preferences in that polling place, so we can sort of get an idea of how the preferences are flowing from the first preferences to the last preferences. And while down, there's quite a lot of polling places. We find Ramsgate. That is only a 9% pickup to the. Sorry, I've got my program running on the screen down here, and I keep on getting distracted by it. No, Ramsgate. The Liberals picked up 9% in Ramsgate, which is only just above the Libertarian vote. You might realise, which means that, and you would expect that as a bare minimum, the Liberals would pick up the amount that the Libertarians had. So it's interesting to only see a little bit more than that trickle into the Liberal ticket, although there's not many Liberal preferencing people anywhere here to exactly give a boost. And the Greens also got a similar preference flow in there. Okay. I'll have one last look through the two candidate preferred, and then I will go on a break. Quite a lot of polling places. Nothing new in Woolooware North, nothing. Swaney Heights, nothing. Sandringham, Ramsgate, Miranda, nothing. Nothing new. Talk about. Okay, so on that note, I might duck off for a couple of minutes and go. I'll have maybe a 20-minute break, and I will be back at 8:40. Okay, we're back. Let's see what has been going on in the meantime. Polling places. Time to go through all of them. Because there is a new carrying bar. There is not a new carrying bar. Crimea Bay North. No. What is there new of? There's new Cronulla. In new pre-poll voting centre results in Cronulla. 21.96. That will be part of the reason why during that break the Liberals gained some vote there. Cronulla, let's look for it. That is a 12-point swing in Cronulla, which is much more than the normal Cronulla booths. So yeah, same story there as everywhere else. Once again, Lakers, nothing. Anything new in the pre-polls? Ramsgate. No. What are these swings? Okay, so we now have the Cronulla results, and we saw that the Liberal Party swing plus the Libertarian swing is very close to the amount of Canada preferred swing, which means that there's probably quite the swing coming. If under that logic, there's quite the swing coming in Ramsgate. Whether that's dampened by the higher Green vote is a question to be answered. By a lot of questions still to be answered. One of those questions is very much not who has won. Go up to polling places. Probably time you had another swing through the polling places. Looking at projected first preferences. Still broken. Problem with the projected first preferences is my system prints out the projected first preferences as though they were raw votes. So it has the tally of votes instead of a percentage. And what it's done there is when it's doing the projected vote, it when it's doing the projected vote, if there's a swing from 0, so every swing is equal to the amount the party got, which means that it's a new polling place, it means it won't count it in here. If it doesn't count it in here, then not counted in here, then it doesn't. It gets into the raw total, but it does not get into the projected total. Changed. What is changed? But yeah, just to finish that one, it gets into the raw total, not the first preference total, meaning that when we get a projected result, it is over. Okay, let's go see what that was. That change. What new grand polling places have we got? Caringbah West, is that new? I don't think it is. Barony Bay. I keep on wanting to say that. No regular Blakehurst yet. See what that was last. There's no regular Blakehurst. They just call it Blakehurst South. That's not confusing. No. Cocker East. Oh, but there's a libertarian swing. And Miranda Central, Miranda South, Montgomery, not Montgomery. I keep on trying to go to Alabama. Ramsgate Beach, Andringham, San Susie, Virginia. Nothing new. Now really starts the part of the night where there is just no results to talk about. Just waiting for each of these to trickle through. Do candidate preferred. And on do candidate preferred, currently 70.31, which would indicate that nothing has changed. Where is it? Something has changed. Sylvania Heights South? Maybe? What is the result in Sylvania Heights South? That could be the new polling place, but that would not make sense. Sylvania? No. I don't work out what the new polling place is. Trying to find things to say. Now, it's probably because there has been a probably because been a very quick count this time around, or because the Liberal Party was not arguing with any of the votes coming through. They knew that they were getting a lot of them, and so they have not. They've let the vote through very quickly. We've got all the results very quickly. And now we don't have anything to report on. Is there anything interesting? Now there's no way I can tell if there's been not there. No way I can tell there's been postals coming through, but there could have been a new pre-poll. Isaac. Okay, there will be a pre-poll coming in a minute once this update runs. But yeah, that looks like it's all of the first preference results in. So, has there been any postals? Yes, there has been, which are lower than the ordinary. What are that? What is that? Postal votes are much higher for the independent. Why is that? Could be an odd batch. But that is a little high count for the independent. Those results on pre-poll. We're still waiting for more pre-poll voting centers to come through the count. I can't sum them up. You'd think the final result would be something about 71, which would be a 9-point swing. No. pow. We get to wait here very slowly to see if anything comes through. Anything has come through. National list of candidates. What is that national list of candidates? This is a by-election. What is this list? Um. The 70.31%. Nothing to talk about. Nothing new for the postals. Certainly not going to be any more first preferences. Get to just sit here and wait for an upsettingly long amount of time. The AC have added this products and industry. The AC have added this products and industry setting in their new tab. It says port and berthing facilities, boat building, steel fabrication, pharmaceutical plant, oyster farming, and service industries are the main industries in Cook. That is an uninteresting fact. Of course, the name of the seat comes from Captain James Cook. You know that. First election was 1906, which means Cook is not a federation electorate, which is named for electorates that were their state in 1901. So interesting. The status is, of course, defined. Not after this by-election. Does it become? Yeah, project we can go on. What does it become? Let's look at the post-election order. I'll call it the swing over, is just to call it the pendulum. And zoom massively in. It becomes the okay. Cook after this by-election will become either the third, second, or first safest Liberal seat. Mostly because it's being competed with against the Greens, which of course makes the margin quite a bit larger. The distribution of preferences, because why not? You can see distribution of preferences last time. The Liberals gained 7% of the vote. There was a total of about 20% of the vote. Other candidates. Where's that industry setting? Old one as well. that. So yeah, just waiting for 2 places to count, which will be incredibly fast. Carrying bar Miranda. Where's he? Rams. All the pre-polling voting centers. No, these updates are coming incredibly slow. Okay, there's total of 86%, which is uh, 73% counted. We'll expect that to go up a little bit, but that is probably where it will. Big Bad Postals has just dropped in. Oh yeah, so his joint drop. No, that is not why it's dropped. That vote total has gone up. Vote total has gone up because let's look. I'll set the right one though. Okay, new pre-poll voting center, not Ramsgate. Miranda. The Miranda is on 74.54, which is what has driven up that vote for the Liberals last time around in 2022. Miranda did not have a pre-poll, so we can't get any swing. Wow. 74.54. Let's see how that compares to the first preferences. Okay, Miranda. That makes a lot of sense under the first preferences. Wow, there is not a lot of vote with the other candidates on this one. And a very solid group. Libertarians, National Justice Party, and the Independent. I wonder, on the postal votes, which I can't view here, I wonder if the trend, yes, Roger Woodward is still gaining on postals, which is an interesting trend to see. Yeah. Still not much to hear. Sustainable Australia goes up a little bit on postals, which is a little bit interesting. Animal Justice goes down. Libertarian goes down. And Roger Woodward goes up. postal votes. I presume they have not hit the two-candidate preferred count. Funny thing about this first preference count is that it says it's final, but a postal vote batch just dropped in, so it's clearly not final because it said it before, and that was not final. So, yeah. If it doesn't affect it right now. No. Okay, I'll give it one more update. And once that update is done, I will go away for a bit. Anything new? Of course, there isn't. No new postal votes. No new primary votes. I will go away until the final polling place has given its result. So I'll leave for a bit and stay on the preset screen. Okay, just in is the final result for tonight, presumably. The fact that there probably isn't going to be. That is what I expect it to be. Given that there probably isn't going to be many of these postal votes trickling into the main count tonight. So the last result is from polling places. It is from Caringbah. Go down to it. We see 76.96. Look at the old results there. Caringbah pre-poll voting center. We get 8,008 votes total and a 10-point swing to the Liberals on that final polling place. That will be the end of my coverage for Cook 24 by-election. It is a larger swing than was expected by the UComs poll, but I think it's easy to say that just that because whatever. It's easy to say that this is about the swing that you would have expected on this sort of a by-election in a very conservative area where the only person contesting was the Greens, and the electors already had a chance to protest vote against the unpopular member at the last election. So there's a lot. The Cook by-election has ended in what will be about a 9-point swing by the time all the votes are counted. And so yeah, that is the Cook by-election.